Awaken the Kundalini Shakti through the breath, for when it is aroused, liberation is possible. Prana Kundalini, or simply prana, is the driving force of our psychophysical mechanism. It is the breath within the breath of life. Not the same as the physical breath. Prana is more accurately called the link between the mental and the physical. Thus mind, called manas, plays an important role in the unfoldment and the expansion of the inner vision, because mind and breath are intimately related. The thoughts and feelings that arise and subside in the mind do so on the movement of this subtle breath of life, prana. And the practice of pranayama uses the mind to control prana while simultaneously using prana to control the mind. The aim of this practice is to bring the flow of subtle energy into the awareness and control of the individual. That is, that through slow breathing, pranayama, the mind becomes still. As the mind becomes still, the breathing is slower and deeper. And these two aspects mutually support each other in a self-feeding mechanism. All the aspirant has to do to put this into effect is to be aware of this and apply it with practice, direct experience, and then it happens quite naturally. You will become still and unmovable in all situations. The three primary channels through which conscious creative energy circulates in the subtle body are the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushumna. The Sushumna is the seat of Kundalini. This flow of energy takes place within a structure that is sometimes called the subtle body, with prana corresponding to the subtle breath. In the sutras, Nityananda speaks of the three primary nerves or nadis, the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushumna. They serve as channels in the subtle body for the flow of conscious energy and are arranged like the familiar medical symbol of the caduceus, a straight central channel, the Sushumna, flanked by two side channels, the Ida and Pingala, that crisscross over the center like a loose braid. At each crossover point are centers called chakras. The subtle is in the chakras. In the subtle channels is the Kundalini Shakti. Together they are Om. Realize and know the subtle. A chakra is a point in time and space where various flows of energy interact and create a resonance that is uniquely different from the resonance of the individual energies that originally combined to make it. From these centers of vibration, a human being's mental, emotional, and physical characteristics are determined and expressed. Just as 7 chakras begin with the Muladhara at the base of the spine, there are 7 major chakras, each corresponding to an area in the physical body. These are the base of the spine, the base of the sex organs, the navel, the heart, the throat, a point between the eyebrows and the top of the head. Kundalini energy is said to lie dormant in the Muladhara, the chakra at the base of the spine. The nadis also originate in the Muladhara. In addition to the Muladhara, Nityananda specifically refers to the Ajna chakra between the eyebrows. This is called the Guru principle. And through the grace of the Sadguru, we reach the Sahasrara chakra, the seat of liberation. The Sahasrara chakra at the top of the head is the final chakra, and goal of the yogic practice is to rouse the sleeping kundalini, allowing it to rise through the nadis and chakras, and finally merge with the Absolute in the Sahasrara chakra. The seat of such discrimination is in the sky of the heart. When the kundalini rises to this place in the head, then the breath is single, and the universe is in one self. All is in the self. The Sahasrara chakra at the top of the head is the seat of self-realization. It is the junction point between the individual and the divine. That point in a human being wherein lies the dynamic stillness that is the union of Shiva and Shakti. It is only part of the psychobiological mechanism that is still, just as the hub of a wheel is still, while the spokes and the rim move around it. It is the place from which all the spiritual forces that make up a human being are extended. The place the breath comes from, the place the chakras come from, the place the physical body comes from. The self is there before you, and it is there after you. Even before you were born, there was creation. Only you are aware, but do not know it and appear unaware. A human being then is really an extension of a spiritual force. The dormant kundalini represents the furthest extension of that energy. As long as it is crystallized in this extension, the person is limited as a being and sees things in terms of distinctions. When through Shaktipat, the kundalini begins to rise, this crystallization is loosened up. As the energy begins to flow again, it is reabsorbed into itself as the divine. When the individual spirit leads the inner Shiva Shakti upward to the Brahmarandra at the top of the head, the individual becomes one with the indivisible. This is mukti, liberation, indivisible liberation. Creation is nothing but energy released or projected from God. Entering back into it is dissolution. Identifying with the body is the cause of creation as one sees it. And real dissolution takes place when the individual merges and dissolves in the universal self. For Nityananda, the Sahasrara chakra is synonymous with Brahmarandra, the point of dynamic stillness that equals the union of Shiva and Shakti. When the individual creative energy in the form of Kundalini is reawakened and merged into that point through the various yogic practices, the individual consciousness dissolves into universal consciousness. What manifests then is a complete state known as the divine inner self. This is the state of universal consciousness and awareness of the self as the source of the whole universe. Chitakasha and Ritakasha refer to the awareness that arises in the state of divine consciousness. In that state, we experience the inner as vast, maybe more vast than the whole external universe. This heart space is the essence or the heart of the whole universe. And Chitakasha is consciousness space, the sky of consciousness, the sky of the heart. The heart space in the head, the sky of the heart, these all refer to the same experience of infinite expansiveness. The source of liberation is Shiva. The linga in the head is Shiva. It is all Om. This Brahmarandra is also referred to in Nityananda's sutras as the linga in the head, which is the symbol of Shiva. In Indian temples, the linga is a stone or metal object said to have a masculine quality, to be completely passive, and to contain the whole universe within itself. It arose as a symbol of Shiva because the linga in the head is the abode of Shiva, the source of all that is.